Welcome to the TrickyScribe. I am Shivpujan Jha and we have got a very special guest today in our studio, Santosh Singh. Santosh Singh comes with an experience of approximately 28 years in English journalism. And can you beat it? He has bagged more than 8 national awards, including the Red Ink Award twice, 3 times Indian Express Award. He has authored several books. He can proudly proclaim, rather, the people who appreciate him, who widely read him, often acknowledge that he has got the pulse of the state. Elections are round the corner, and since he has written several books like Ruled or Misruled, that was about Bihar itself, Mr. Santosh, JP to BJP, Kitna Raj, Kitna Kaj, and one book I too am having, The Jananayak, Voice of the Voiceless. So you can well imagine that this man really has got the deep insight into the political landscape of the Bihar. So the first question which I would like to put to you, Mr. Santosh, is Bihar rearing for a change? For the first time, I see that there is possibly a political vacuum which is building up. Nitish Kumar, gradually, his health is being discussed in the entire political arena. Even the voters have started talking about it. Lalu Prasad Yadav does not appear to be at the helm of affairs, and age is fast catching up. Various kinds of allegations now within the family. We see that there is a wedge which is dividing the family. There are also factors which have come into play. One is the Prashant Kishor factor. Over-ambitious leaders like Mukesh Sahni getting into the picture. What do you see is going to be the fallout of 2025 elections? You think that the state is rearing for a change, and possibly for the first time will witness that there is a leadership change? Or you see that there will be a vacuum which will be created this time, and possibly a change will be quite evident in the next assembly elections?
First, thank you so much, Shivpujan, for calling me. A very loaded question, I must say.
Because I wanted to bring things into perspective, and especially when you have to be extra careful when you are posing questions to a seasoned journalist like you. And journalists like me have learned a lot from the likes of you.
Thank you so much for your kind words. But that said, yours is still very loaded questions. Let me take it one by one. Of course, first Nitish Kumar. Of course, he is surely at the fag end of his political career. He is fast walking into the sunset because of his health reasons or otherwise. But he has already become the longest serving chief minister of the state, and he has nothing to prove. He has surely, I think, already gone down in history as one of the best chief minister of the state, along with Dr. Santosh Singh and Lalu Prasad. But yet, every good things come to an end, as says an old adage. But I would still say, I use the term but. It is, of course, he is, as I said, walking fast into the sunset, but you can still see so many ifs and buts. Will Prashant Kishor be able to become the X factor we are talking about? Will Tejasu Yadav add on to his constituency? Will he go beyond the MY plus? What does he offer on the platter? He is talking about A to Z politics, which is inclusive brand of politics, as he proclaims. But will he adapt to that? Will Chirag Paswan again play spoils sports?
And given the larger political
larger political ambition, and there are so many players. So, if we talk in segment of NDA, first Nitish Kumar JDU, BJP, and Chirag Paswan. It's a winning combination. It has been the winning combination, and it has been evident in last Lok Sabha election as well. And if you go back to 2002 election and how Chirag Paswan played this spoiled sport, he just a stakeholder of around 6% votes.
Okay.
But that's a big factor.
It will prove to be a big dampener.
Big dent, big factor in politics. That's why he has thrown his name for leadership. He is talking about the term Nav Netritva. That is a term which has been irritating JDU to a great end. Why this guy is coming and using this term. So many people has thrown his hats in the ring. Samrat Chaudhary is one, Prashant Kishor is another. Of course, Tejasvi Yadav is very much a key player. So I would say socialist politics is at its fag end. It is just it is drawing close. Can someone like, I call it dynastic socialism. We have entered the phase of
primarily after Lalu Prasad Yadav.
Yeah, dynastic socialism, because you bring in your son, your kith and kin, then your politics can thrive. Because in a regional tarafs, they do not create second rung leadership. That is the perfect.
Sorry to be interrupting you. You think that primarily for the regional parties, like we are talking about the RJD, that is the inevitable part. Unless they go for this process of developing or passing on the scepter, let me call it the scepter, to their son, the party will be written off. It's happening in the case of Mayawati's party.
Yes.
Possibly this is widely being talked in terms of the TMC, also that party of Odisha. So that way you think that creating your successor within the family is the inevitable part.
Yes, that's very true. That's why all his life, political life, I mean.
And to add on, and slowly but surely, even Nitish Kumar is doing the same.
Yeah, Nitish Kumar, that's why he has been averse to the idea, because all his life he has been talking against the Pati Patni ki sarkar. He used to take a pot shot at Lalu Prasad and Rabri Devi by saying Pati Patni ki, would not name them but say Pati Patni ki sarkar. So he had been negative. He is somehow emulating Karpuri Thakur. So long as Karpuri Thakur was alive, his son Ramnath Thakur didn't come into politics.
Okay.
In 1985, the party decided to give ticket to Ramnath Thakur as well. Then Karpuri Thakur came to know about it. He said, either you give ticket to Ramnath or me. If you are giving ticket to Ramnath, I am not contesting. But soon after that, a few months after death of his father, he was nominated MLC by then Janata Dal.
Yes.
I think it was not Janata Dal then, it was Lok Dal. He was nominated, he came into politics. The same thing, Nitish Kumar doesn't want to take that risk. He wants to assess the result. He
does not want the loss of face.
Loss of face. He says we will cross the bridge when it comes.
Okay.
Let us see the result of 2025 elections. If it warrants so, then he can come to politics. So there has been several round of talks about whether he would join politics or
Of late, I have been watching him very closely, and I see that he has often been coming in the public domain, making statements which I would say that it does have much political connotations, and voices from within the party too have now started surfacing, coming to the fore that why not? What is wrong? He's not being parachute dropped as, say, the national president of the party or something like that. If he is ready to struggle like any party worker, he's welcome into politics, and he definitely does have an understanding of the politics of the state. So you see that happening post 2025. You see that Nishant would be
I just tell you one instance of Holi. It came straight from CM House.
Yeah.
When there were so many waiters. Every important person, whether it is a party worker or senior functionary of the party or a minister who went to meet Nitish Kumar also met Nishant.
Yes.
He was introduced.
And the visuals were in the public domain.
He was introduced. Somehow he is being baptized into politics.
Yes.
In a different manner. Without formally joining the politics, he has already been baptized. So it doesn't matter he has become a primary member of JDU.
And he's also trying to capture the pulse of the state, reading several books.
He has been. I just said he is reading the Christopher Japolo's Silent Revolution and other socialist literature. He has been reading the literature of Dr. Ramana Lohiya. He is trying to understand, and he is also getting the practical feedback from the ground, from senior leaders like Vijay Kumar Chaudhary. And I cannot forget one image, one picture of Holi. On one side there was Vijay Chaudhary, another side was Sanjay Jha. And it was a junior Nishant Kishor who is putting his arms around both the senior leaders.
Yes, that hogged the limelight.
What does it say?
More or less it appears, it boils down to the duck.
That picture said everything.
Duck taking to water, Nishant taking to politics. Boils down to that kind of scenario here?
Looks like if it weren't so, they will wait for the BJP move. Of course, they are saying when during a recent dinner of Amit Shah, somebody asked him, what do you think about Nitish? Abhi to wo hai. Unka netritva Nitish Kumar ka abhi hai, right now. But he was not very forthright. But so it will be very important. But I have a different contention. Once JDU gets 50 plus, BJP would not be able to do anything. Nitish Kumar will again be chief minister. I don't know how long he will hold on to that. People say that I think 5-6 bureaucrats are around him. They are running the show.
Yeah, that is a kind of allegation which has been
that's a kind of allegation.
Opposition. But yes, I think that Nitish Kumar, to a great extent, or for that matter, the people around him, they have failed to contain that kind of discussion which is going wild now, of him fast losing control over his health. And that is the reason why we see that there have been a couple of irritants in his public perception.
The recent appointments in commissions and the allegations of nepotism all around.
Yes.
So we have heard about that.
Crystallize things to a great extent. Nitish Kumar has had his innings.
Yes.
You think some good innings is still left with him? Or you think that he has hit the end of the road and now the time has come that he has to definitely pass on that scepter to some successor if the party has to be kept intact? Or else factionalism within JDU is widely being discussed.
It all depends on the number, I would again say.
Numbers.
Number would decide, because you cannot write off anybody in politics.
Even in 2014, after the Lok Sabha results, it was widely being discussed. Once he passed on the chair to Jitan Ram Manjhi, it was widely being discussed at that point in time that is it the end of the road for Nitish Kumar, but he sprung back. But he sprung back and he made himself indispensable yet again for the BJP. This time again, if I am able to dive a bit deeper, I am able to see that possibly the BJP is getting carried away by the results of 2015 elections, and that is the reason why I see that same Samrat Chaudhary, who had vowed to remove Nitish Kumar from the chair, he had to eat the dust to a great extent. Today I see that he has been helping Nitish Kumar in his public appearances to a great extent.
But this time would be different. This time Nitish Kumar would not be able to nominate someone like Jitan Ram Manjhi as chief minister.
Yes.
It can only happen then if he gets 70 plus seats, and BJP comes below 60 seats. If it is the other way around, this time he might not be. He might still get in his son, but he can bargain maximum.
Will the BJP not be as generous as it was in 2020?
Yes. Nishant could become the deputy chief minister.
There is a strong possibility.
There is strong. Nobody can rule this out because he is the only unanimous. He is the only unanimous. I always believe in theory of elimination in politics.
Yeah.
You talk of Vijay Kumar Chaudhary. He comes from upper caste. Socialist politics, there is in socialist politics no place for upper caste leader. Ditto for Sanjay Kumar Jha. Lalan Singh is past his prime. And also comes from the forward caste group. Who else? Ashok Kumar Chaudhary. He has been wavering. He came from Congress. So I don't think that JDU can put his money. So who is the unanimous choice? Unanimous choice is Nishant Kumar.
And he can be the galvanizing force as well?
Yes, he is galvanizing force, and he would be acceptable to even RJD is welcoming him. He come to politics because RJD sees Nishant as a potential ally, and that way RJD thinks that we can give longevity. So what Nishant comes to power? That way they imagine that the socialist politics can get a much longer rope. We think that 2025 is the cut-off date for socialist politics. Who knows? It might extend beyond that. And we just discussed in early discussion about Prashant Kishor. How much Prashant Kishor factors comes to play in this election? That will decide the course of this election. Nitish Kumar.
That's the reason why we have been discussing this 2025 elections. Very, very crucial, very, very important. There is yet another factor which I wanted to discuss with you. Of late, I see that from within the LJPR, there are statements coming that the NDA should project Chirag Paswan as the chief ministerial candidate. Bihar first, Bihari first, that was the kind of slogan which was given. He has been trying to maintain that kind of aura to a great extent. You think that 2025 is going to be important for Chirag Paswan as well?
Of course, Chirag Paswan, like Nitish Kumar created a constituency, say around 15-16%. Chirag has not created a constituency yet, but he has created that aura.
Yeah.
Post Paswan's death, his party was split, and he came back to Bihar.
And he weathered the storm.
Yeah, he weathered the storm, and I think he went from one village to another with the slogan of Bihar first, Bihari first, and despite the fact his uncle Pasupati Kumar Paras becoming union minister and taking away 5 of his 6 MPs.
Yeah.
He is still he was deeply firmly rooted in Bihar politics, and he so lo and behold.
Is it not interesting for you that that was the time when Chirag Paswan kept flanking himself as the Hanuman of Modi ji, and the BJP kept looking the other way? That was very interesting.
He saw, but there was a clear hint. Within 1 year, BJP realized that here is the guy who is holding on to Dalit votes, especially the Paswan votes.
Yes.
Here is the legitimate and real heir apparent of Ramvilas Paswan. When his score line was 5 out of 5.
Yeah, in the Lok Sabha elections.
In the Lok Sabha election. And Pasupati Kumar Paras even didn't get a chance to contest.
Yes.
That showed the utility. Okay, you can say he is son of Ramvilas Paswan. Of course, he is son of Ramvilas Paswan, but he proved himself in this election. 2 elections you can say he won because of Mr. Modi, Mr. Ramvilas Paswan.
Do you think, you have been covering several elections in this, do you think that to a great extent in the last almost say 8 to 10 years, it was Chirag Paswan who was more or less prevailing upon his father? Remember that there was a time ki satta ki chabi to mere haath mein hai, and there was president's rule imposed in
2005.
February, March, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Now Chirag Paswan has got the patience. He has got long innings before him. The reason why I put that question to you, you see that 2025 election is bound to be very, very crucial. Is it going to be the game changer largely? Because one factor we are already discussing, that is of Chirag Paswan. The other factor which I definitely would like to discuss with you is the Prashant Kishor factor in great details, that as well. You think things will change? Lalu had his innings, Nitish Kumar has had his innings, Nishant is widely being discussed, but definitely he needs some more time. But then you have 2 players who have already thrown in their hat in the ring.
Yeah, just as I discussed Chirag Paswan a little while ago, his problem, what is holding him back, that he has not been able to create a constituency yet.
Yes, that is important.
He is stuck. He is a Dalit leader, 19.65% Dalit constituency. Of course, Paswan is 5.3% biggest block among Dalits. Okay, he has got that Paswan constituency, but 5.66% votes in last assembly election, LJP, RB got. And he has to think beyond that. Unless you create 12% plus constituency, you cannot think of becoming a chief minister.
That is, I think,
why would BJP put money on you?
That's the most difficult task, because I find that there was an attempt made by even Tejasvi Yadav last time while he tried to lap up the legacy of Lalu Prasad Yadav. Lalu Prasad Yadav or Rabdi Devi were not used in the posters. They did not find presence in the posters. So he wanted to carry forward the legacy but not the baggage. He has been talking in terms of A to Z politics, but it has not moved to any extent beyond MY situation. because there is rigid compartmentalization, and in the say from almost say 1990 to 2005, the narrative has been set in a way that A to Z politics is almost impossible for a party like RJD. Would you agree with me?
Yes, yes. By MY plus what and how much?
Yeah.
Okay, you got little bit of EBC politics, thoda bahut you brought in Dalit politics, but when it comes to ticket distribution and see the chart, 60-70% of them are Muslims and Yadavs, because you cannot deviate from your core constituency.
That also accentuates the say polarization versus reverse polarization.
Of course. So they both are stuck up. You see, even beyond a point, BJP is not building up. This is where the 25% EBC votes holds key to the election. Fluctuating, wavering, non-committal, 25% EBC votes plus Prashant Kishor factor. These are the two key factors of the elections. Where would they vote for? Mandal, Dhanuk, Teli, the 4-5 caste, 2.5%. Uske baad the whole long 112 castes. 100 big, and they are called Pachpurna factor, Pachpaniya, Pachpavaniya, because here and there in every village you would say 5 village of Dhanuk, 5 village of Malla. So, but they have never come as a unified force. Karpuri Thakur was of course an EBC leader, but he was called Jannayak. He had all income.
He had acceptability in almost
his acceptability because he came from a movement. तो movement से आता है socialist movement, freedom movement, Sajanand Saraswati movement.
Has got wide acceptability.
So many rolled into one and wider acceptability. Abhi, if at all we call him an EBC leader, after Karpuri Thakur you don't have an EBC leader. You have Mukesh Sahni, a Malla leader. Mangal, then abhi this Mangnilal Mandal in a particular, a leader of a particular region. So you don't have still have a pan Bihar EBC. This IP Gupta, Pan Samaj, he held a big rally. In recent times he has been a big crowd puller. So he has been also trying to make his place, carve his niche in state politics, in terms of EBC politics. So you go to Gardani Bagh, you say so many the sabhas, meetings and the meetings of caste confederations during the election times. So it's a time of caste assertion, as the celebrated writer Jeffrey Whitso in his book Democracy Against Development. He talked about the pre-independence and post-independence. Pre-independence, there was a rush of taking the surnames of upper caste, Sanskritization, naming Singh, Sinha, all these titles of. And once the reservation comes into the picture, they just start coming back to their caste.
Reverse migration.
Even Jitan Ram Manjhi's son, his official name is Santosh Kumar Suman, second is Praveen Kumar Suman. The moment he becomes chief minister, his son starts writing Manjhi. So the caste assertion is very important. So it's very difficult to get caste out of the Bihar politics. That is why
at the same time, sir, I am trying to interrupt you a bit here. Amidst all the caste assertions, you have got an ocean of new voters coming in, hooked to the social media with altogether different level of aspiration. You think that that can be one factor which would eventually break down this rigid compartmentalization on caste lines, which is the ugly reality of the state? Or it will take time?
It will take time. It is very difficult to say. I see, say on one time we talk about the all progressive idea, a casteless society, so many things. But you are deeply saddened with the so many posts of in a very caste centric posts, and they are promoting their caste leaders, and they are trolling who are criticizing their leaders. Those such things are also happening. The social media, I think it's a double-edged swords. It's also accentuating or the caste factor more. on that social media. So you cannot say कि all the people who are born after 2000, they believe in casteless society, things will change. But change is seeping in. It will take time. This Nitish Kumar I think he gave a great example how you can place in the development card very well. And on the plank of development card, he ruled Bihar.
To a great extent, he succeeded in breaking.
So in a caste-ridden state, a leader.
Compartmentalization, and as I often keep saying that Santosh Singh did coin a phrase at that point in time, that of social engineering. So he succeeded to a great extent. One more factor which I wanted to discuss with you, we've already discussed at length, the factor called Mr. Paswan. Now 2025 for Prashant Kishor. You think that he will test the water this time, prove to be a big dampener, will make a severe dent, or he can emerge as a formidable force this time around? He has been establishing excellent people connect. Earlier, he definitely did have that bird's eye view. Okay, because he was managing elections for others. But right now, he is with the people, establishing that direct one-to-one connect, is backed by sound data which has been collected by his own people, directly from the villages, directly from the grassroots. And he has been talking to the people at length, taking their feedback on a regular basis. I don't see that there has been any such mammoth effort put in by any other political party in the recent times. The elections will possibly take place in the month of October, November, and he has been doing his homework for almost 3 years now.
Yes, very true. You have already said so many things about him. I think in last 3 years, you would not have seen any political party eating the field like Prashant Kishor. He has been everywhere. The yellow is plastered everywhere. And I don't know how much, I think the crowd is converting into votes. He's up against so many things. So many people talk about his caste. So many add Pandey to his surname just to tell him that okay, there's no place for an upper caste in state politics yet. But only problem, I think, again, it's solo show.
Okay.
Only thing that holds Jan Suraj, we talk very less about, is that it's a solo show, Prashant. We do not say other leaders of Jan Suraj coming forward, because that it can give it a broad canvas. We only see.
And he has been talking on those lines.
But he has been talking on that because he has not delegated responsibility.
Yes.
Even if you have to seek a quote from Jan Suraj, it is very difficult to get a quote, because they will take permission from Prashant Kishor than anybody. So I think these are the holding fact factors with Jan Suraj. But this said, I would say Prashant Kishor is still the biggest influencer of this election. I would not say he is a dampener or vote cutter or.
We'll have to wait and watch. So everyone is keeping their fingers crossed at this stage. Several new factors would be at play in the 2025 elections, and definitely if the blocks that are there, primarily the NDA and the Mahagathbandhan, they remain intact, and with several new factors coming into play, this election is bound to be very, very interesting. We'll keep bringing to you the inside stories from the political arena. Thanks for being with us. That's all in the show.
Thank you.